Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Statement. Here in this tutorial I want to teach you how to knit this beautiful hat. It's very easy to do, and here is the list of material you're going to need to make it. To make this hat, this is the material I'm going to use. This yarn here that I already used before, and I don't have the sticker, but it's Red Heart Super Saver, and it's the ones that have 300, I think, and 96 grams. This one. And the color is an off-white or cream. This one is Red Heart Super Saver as well, but this one is a smaller ball of yarn. They are worsted 4 or medium 4. And the color of this one is black light, and they are 100% acrylic. You're gonna need tapestry needle and scissors. You're gonna need a crochet hook, any size. I have here a 3.5, and you'll see as we work where is gonna need this, at what point. You're gonna need a row counter or pen and paper to keep track of the amount of rows, a stitch marker if you're working with circular needle, and a pom-pom maker. I have this cardboard here that I used many times before, and I use this one. I know the hole is not exactly in the middle, but when I put my strand of yarn, I put it closer to here to make them even. So I already made one of these hats before in here as a test, and I love this hat. It looked amazing when I put it on. So here is where I use my crochet hook. I did 2 strips of the 2 colors, and I intertwined them, and then I created a circle, and then from that circle I cast on stitches with my crochet hook here. That way I can use my circular needle and descend it in the other side, and it looks fantastic. I just love this hat, and it's very easy to do. So we're gonna start to make our first strip. I already made one of these ones. This is the one I'm gonna need with this color. It's done flat, but when you do the knit on one side and purl on the other, it tends to curl like that and make like a little tube. You see? So for this one I did 85 row, and row 86 I cast off or bind off. So we had to do 2 exactly the same, different color. So I'm gonna cast on, leave a little tail. I don't need a lot of tail because it's only 6 stitches, so it's easy and fast. So I'm gonna cast on 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm gonna do a little knot here to secure the last stitch, and this is the right side. Each time the tail is in the front is the right side, and when the tail is in the back is the wrong side. So we're gonna knit the right side and purl in the wrong side. So this is gonna be row number 1. I'm gonna knit my 6 stitches. And that's row number 1. And let me start keeping track on my rows. I'm gonna work on the wrong side, and this is a purl row. So it's very easy. First seam flat, but as you work, this is turned to curl, so and make that little like a tube. So that's row number 2. Again, back to row number 3, a right side as a net row. So you have to continue like this until you have 85 row, and in row number 86 I will cast off or bind off. Okay, and remember you have to make 2 of these, 1 of each color. Here I'm about to cast off, so it's in a purl row, so I'm gonna purl 1 and purl 2, and I'm gonna pass the first one on top of the second one, and like this you're gonna cast off all the way to the end, and remember to leave a tail to sew the circle once we have the 2 together and we twist them together. So you have to leave a tail and do the other one exactly the same. Once you finish casting off, you also have 1 loop, and you cut the tail, you make that loop a little bit bigger, and you pass the tail through, because if you don't secure the last stitch, your work will unravel if you pull the tail. Okay, so once you have your 2 pieces, we're gonna to start twisting them. So this one measure 52 centimeters long, so that's the circumference that I'm gonna work with. This one will be for an adult size hat, exactly like this one. This one fits me really nice, so I will do another one exactly the same. And if you want to do this smaller, what you do is measure the circumference around from the center of the forehead all the way around your back, covering the ears, to the other center of the back, the other ear, to the front of your forehead. That's the circumference that you're going to do this a little bit loose, because you're going to be twisting them. So here I'm going to grab my tapestry needle just to help to keep this together here at the tip. So I'm going to do this in here, and I'm going to start just doing a twist like this. It's almost like a braid, but with only two tails, like this. Okay, so you want to work with a straight needle, you can do this as well with a straight needle, don't have to be circular needle. So if you're working with a straight needle, I recommend to sew them here together like that, that way they don't unravel, and the same at the other end when you finish. So you're going to continue doing this. Doing the wrist. So here, okay, once you finish doing the two like this, what you're gonna do here is making sure that it's the same way, flat like this. You're gonna create a circle. You're gonna sew, I have to do one more, okay, this one here and this one here. You see the off-white with the off-white, and this colorful one with the colorful one here, and like that you're gonna create your circle. And then after that I will show you how you're gonna cast on your stitches to do the bottom part here. Okay, Once you finish, it will look like this, and you can move this around. That way you don't get the seam right in here. You see the seam is already under here, so it look like this. We're gonna start with our crochet hook. This one is 3.5, but you can use 4mm, 4.5 to cast on or to do 72 single crochet all the way around. That way we can cast on our 72 stitches here for the border. This border is multiple of 4, so it's 2 net, 2 purl, 2 net, 2 purl. Okay, it had to be multiple of 4. And for this one here, I did 84 stitches. That don't have to be multiple, so it's just purl in the right side of the piece and net in the inside. Let me show you the inside. This is the inside. Don't look bad in the inside. The only thing that I like the pom-pom, and it look like this. But if you don't do a pom-pom, you can use this reversible, okay? Because it don't look that bad like that. The yarn that I use for this one, I wanted to show you, just in case you can find this one, and you can find this one. This one is from Loops and Thread Impeccable Bright, and the color is Rainbow Bright, and it's a medium 4, 100% acrylic, like this one. It's just a different color like that. So I just wanted to show you that one, just in case you have some of that one around the house, and you can use it that one too as well. So now I'm gonna do a slip knot, and you're gonna decide what yarn you're gonna use. I'm gonna use this one, like that one, and I'm gonna start in one of these light color, and you always have to grab 2 strands, okay, like that, because if you grab one, you are pulling that one small. So let me find the seam to start in here. Okay, that way this will be the back of the hat. So I'm gonna pass through here. I'm gonna chain 1, and in the same space I'm gonna do my first single crochet. You have to do single crochet in order to have this straight to cast on your stitches. Okay, so you're gonna always grab 2 strands, and you have to try to make this straight as you can. And here, okay, and I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna be counting until I have my 72 single crochet. You can have 72, 76, 68. It had to be multiple of 4, okay, because you don't want to have 2 net and then finish with 2 net. That will be 4 net then at the end, or start with 2 purl and finish with 2 purl. If you are making sure that you have multiple 4, you will start with 2 net and you finish with 2 purl, okay, or start with 2 purl and finish with 2 net. Here I finished. I have my 72 stitches, and now I'm gonna finish with a slip stitch, and I'm gonna start casting on my 72 stitches in my knitting needle. You see that loop? That's my first one. I go to the next one, pull my yarn through, cast it onto my needle. I have 2. To the next one, I have 3. 4. 5. Like that, you're going to continue all the way around until you cast on your 72 stitches. And then after that we're gonna start our first row of this border. Here I have my 72 stitches. Now we're gonna start using our marker because we're gonna work on the round. So we're gonna start with 2 net, two purl, and 2 net, two purl. Like that you're gonna continue all the way around, and this counts as row number 1. So I'll meet you here at the end. I finished the first row, and here I want to show you close that I finished with 2 purl. I start with 2 net and I finish with 2 purl. You see, you have to have even number. That's why it's multiple of 4. That way you get exactly the 2 and 2. So that was row number 1, and like that you're gonna continue for 9 rows, exactly the same. And in row number 10 you cast off or bind off. That's exactly the same as I did for this one. So you're gonna net the nets and purl the purls. These hats are perfect for those ladies that they sell their work. They can do many different colors, fast and very you don't take a lot of yarn. You can use any colors, and for Christmas, perfect gift for Christmas. It's very economic. So I will meet you here after I have my 9 row. Here I done my 9 row. Now in row number 10 we're gonna cast off or bind off. So we remove the marker, and we're gonna work as we see the stitches. Is how we're gonna bring the stitches down. So these two are net, so we have to net them. You knit the first and the second one, and now the first one you're gonna pass on top of the second, the first one top of the second, and you're gonna cast it off like that. The next two, they're purl, so you have to purl those two, but one at a time. You purl the first one, and that net that you have left in that needle, you're gonna pass on top of that purl. You're gonna purl the next one again, and you're gonna pass that one and top of that one. You see, like that you're casting off your stitches. Like this you're gonna continue all the way around, and then I will show you here how we're gonna finish and how we're gonna even this up, because always with a circular needle you get one stitch higher than the other one because the row is working the round. You have one loop left here, and you're gonna cut your yarn, leaving the tail. You're going to make that loop bigger and pass the yarn through. To secure the stitch. And now with the tapestry needle we're going to sew this. You want to even this up. Always when you make a piece with circular needle you will have that uneven end. So as you see, it's very easy to fix that, because you always have one row extra at the end, so it's nice and easy to do. And once you finish here, we're gonna work on the top of our hat. Look how nice this looks after you finish. So now we're gonna work on the top with the other yarn, and with this one the only thing that we have to do is the pom-pom. Now we're gonna start working with this yarn. This is a beautiful yarn. It's a shame that the length of color, they are no longer in between each other. With the crochet hook, we're gonna do 84 single crochet in this part in the top here, and that will be easier to do because you're gonna do right straight on the top. Okay, so we need to do 84, that way it have the nice and space for the head. So enter my work to find where I start, and it's here, and exactly the same as I did for this one here. I'm gonna do this one in the top. I'm gonna grab 2 strands and I'm gonna pass it through. I'm gonna chain 1 and I'm gonna work all the way around until I have 84 single crochet. So I'll meet you here when I've done my 84. Here I have my 84 stitches or single crochet, and now I'm gonna do slip stitch. I'm gonna pull the yarn, pass it through the netting needle, and now I'm gonna pass through the yarn to create the loops for my netting, for my casting on. So I'm gonna do this off camera and I will show you what to do next. Here I cast on my 84 stitches and they look like this. It's in my needle. And now we're gonna start using our marker, because each time we pass the marker is a row. We need to keep track of the amount of row that we're doing. And we're gonna purl in the right side. And the inside will be net. I like the way it look like this in the outside, better than how it look in the inside like this. But it's up to you how you want to do the outside of the hat. If you wanted to do net or you wanted to do purl. For mine will be purl like this. Okay, so I'm gonna start pass my yarn to the front and I'm gonna purl all the way around. Here I finished my first row and it looked like this. And now I have to do 13 more for a total of 14 rows. And you have to keep track of the amount of row that you're doing. I already put 1 in there. So you're going to continue working your purl for 13 more rows, a total of 14. Even if you're netting, you'll do 14 rows. Okay, so I will meet you here when I have my 14th row. Here I've done 14 row, and if you like this to be more like a slouchy hat, you will give like 2, 3, 4 more row, 18, 17, 16 or 15 row. To this one I did 14 rows. It needs a little bit of a slouchy like that, not a lot, but I like this for me. And then I want to do this for my daughter, and I'm gonna give 2 more rows. I'm gonna do 16. Okay, so it's up to you how you want your hat. So if you want a little longer, you get a couple more rows. So I'm gonna do 2 more rows and I will show you how you're gonna continue. Here I have my 16th row. Now I'm gonna work in row 17, and if you did 14 row, you'll be working in row 15. So what we're gonna do now is a decrease row. So we're gonna do 6 purl, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 2 together. This is for this row. You're gonna do 6 purl and 2 together, 6 purl and 2 together, all the way around. Here I finished that row. Now I'm gonna do row number 18, and for me will be a purl row, no decrease, just purl all the way around. And if you did only 14, for you it will be row 16. So just purl all the way around. We want to give it a nice shape, so that's why we are decreasing slowly. So I finished that row, and I'm gonna do another decrease row, and this time I'm gonna start with 2 together. Now I'm gonna do 4 purl, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and again 2 together. Like this we're gonna do this row. 2 together, 4 separate, and 2 together, 4 separate, and 2 together, all the way around. If you're doing this only with 14 row and then the decrease, this will be row number 17. And if you do it the same length as mine, this will be row number 19. Here what I did, not to have these two together too close, here I did 2 together, I did 3 purl, 2 together, and then 2 purl, because the row before when I did the decrease here, I don't have any here, so that is fine that I have that extra in here. So now this row is a purl row, no decrease, and this is row number 20 for me, or 18 for those one that they're doing this hat a little shorter. Okay, so I will meet you here at the end of this row. Now in this row, that will be row number 21 or 19, depend which size are you doing. You're gonna do 2 together, and then 2 purls separate, 1 and 2, and then 2 together. Like that you're going to continue all the way around. Okay, now I'm going to do row number 22 or 20 for some, and will be a row of purl, no decrease, and it starts to look like this. Look how nice. I finished that row, and now from this row on we're gonna do decrease in every single row, and we're gonna be doing 2 together every single, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, all the way around in this row, and the next one, until you have left like a few stitches, just a small circle, that you can close the tip. So for me this will be row number 23, for you maybe row number 21, depend which length you're doing. So I will do this off camera, and I will let you know how many rows of 2 together I will do. So what you're gonna do is these 2 together, the next 2 together, like that, all the way around, in this row and every single row. Okay, here I finished. I did 2 rows of decrease. I have 11 stitches left, so I don't gonna do any more decrease. So with the tapestry needle I'm gonna cut the yarn and leaving a tail. I'm gonna pass it through my tapestry needle, and the tail is in this side, so I'm gonna start in this side here. I'm gonna pass it through those stitches twice, and I will pull my yarn tight, and I will close the top of the hat. I'll pass the needle to the inside, I will lose that tail, and then we have to do just the pom-pom. Here I finished my hat and it looked like this, and now I'm gonna do the pom-pom. But if you don't like a pom-pom, you can leave it just like this. This is the right side, and I'm gonna show you the inside. They look like this, the inside. But I like the runs, the pearl in the outside better. Okay. Like that. Now I'm gonna do the pom-pom, and I have this cardboard here. I know the square, this open space is not right in the middle, but when I gonna tie my pom-pom together, I always put the strand of yarn that I will cut closer to this one here, and it will be in the center. I'm gonna give you the measurement of this cardboard, and I measure from here to here 9 centimeters or 3.5 inches. From here to here measure almost 15 centimeters, but this is not important, the length, only if you're gonna do the pom-pom like this, but I do mine like that. So first I'm gonna cut a strand of yarn for tying my pom-pom, and then now I'm gonna start wrapping my yarn in here over and over, and until I have a big lump here, like nice and big. Okay, so I'll meet you here when I'm ready to do my pom-pom. Here I finished wrapping the yarn, and it's like this. You see the thickness? And now with the tail, you're gonna pass it through this side and this one here. This is the easiest pom-pom ever. I really can use any cardboard, and it's fast. So now you're gonna find the center here, and you're gonna tie this very tight with a few knots, and then you will cut the yarn in here and cut the yarn here, and you'll have your pom-pom. Once you finish, it will look like this. So you're gonna grab it by, make sure you don't cut in the ones that you just tied the knot. You're gonna flip like this, and you're gonna trim them, giving it a round shape, because when you do the pom-pom like that, it's always a little bit shorter in the side here and a little longer in the top. But if you like, you can leave it just like that. It'll look nice and shaggy. I'm gonna give a shape to mine. I'll show you how to put it on the hat. Here I have my pom-pom. I trimmed the top, and it's nice and fluffy like this. I love this type of pom-pom. And with my tapestry needle, I'm gonna pass one tail in one side and the other one in the other side. I'm gonna pull it right through and tie it really well in the inside, lose those tails, and I'll show you the end result. It'll be awesome. I finished my hat. I did the pom-pom, and look, I have, like, I hardly use any of this yarn. I have enough here for probably to make 2 more hats like this, or to make a scarf and have still leftover yarn. This one, it looked like I hardly use any. It's because I have a lot of yarn. So this is a beautiful project for the entire family. Look, these colors, they look amazing together. They are very bright for the winter. So now I'm gonna put it on in my model, and I'll show you the end result. I wanted to show you first this one. Look how amazing they look. I love the color combination, the stitch combination. They look amazing. So now I'm gonna show you the other one. This is the other one, and they look amazing, amazing. I love them. So I just love those colors. So I hope you guys like it, and give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make any of these hats and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Stedman, or you can find me in my Instagram, Ruby Stedman Crochet. Please share my videos with friends and family. That way you help me grow here on YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.